Hi everyone, and welcome back to the VertX Invest podcast. My name is Clara. I'm Chief of Operation here at VertX, and today I'm joined by Lior once again, our CEO. Hi Lior.
Hi, Clara. It's a pleasure to be here, as always. Looking forward to see what we're talking today.
So today we are going to talk about a very interesting subject and pretty unknown by international investors. This is inverse investment. Can you tell us a bit about the subject?
It shows a very interesting subject today.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really uncommon for international. I think in many countries they don't even know this kind of product exists. But here in Spain it's actually really common and regulated and very well known for many persons. So in general, in this product, we're gonna purchase a property. We're going to be the owner officially of the property with all of the documentation and everything. But we're going to keep letting the person who live in there live till the rest of his life. So that's a win-win. And why it's a win-win? Because at the end, he's enjoying his own property. He doesn't need to move out. Let's say that the social economic is kind of flowing in need for the money. So it's a win-win for both sides.
Okay, so I believe there is an interest here for us, right? Maybe a discount.
Exactly. So we will buy the property at lower price than the market value. We're talking about 30, 14, 50% below the market price. And that's why we're going to let the person live over there till his rest of his life because we receive the discount. Also, in some cases, we might going to pay like rent every month or like a fixed payment, but you can compare this to a mortgage, no? In most cases, when you're taking a mortgage, you are the owner of the property. You probably purchase it at 100% at the real price of the market price, and you pay the mortgage. So here, you're purchasing it way below the market price, and let's say you kind of pay the mortgage, but not really, because you're probably not taking it for 30 years. Let's put the thing on the table.
Okay, so it's like buying at today's price, but having the ownership in the future.
Exactly. So that's correct. So you have the house on the paper, it's yours. Legally, everything, it's yours, except that you're not allowed to enter inside because you are not living there. There's somebody who live there till his rest of his life.
Okay, so here I want to put something in light. Why is it something very interesting in Spain? First of all, we have to know that here in Spain, this is a country with a very high expectancy of life. It's more or less 84 years old for people, and you have to know that here in Spain, people after 65 years old, most of them owns their home. So this is why there is a real market here and maybe not in some other countries.
Yeah, that's correct. So let's take example. So after these years, so basically someone reached, let's say 75 years old. Now, he's having his family, he's having his house, but he doesn't have other properties, he doesn't have other income, he doesn't have anything else except of having his own house, and he's got his kids. But obviously, this person want to give, for the example, want to give a gift for the kids, want to spend some time with the grandkids, want to do so many things, want to travel the world. But the one thing he doesn't want to do is to move out of his house, out of his own house, the space that he feels comfortable. He doesn't want to move. So that's why this kind of thing created to make a win-win. We are coming to him and saying, hey, you don't have to move. You spend your time, you enjoy your time, you travel the world, you do whatever you want with the money, but we're paying less for the market. But we could also pay every month your fee. So actually have income every month and all of the money that we pay for the house. Don't forget also, all of these persons purchased the apartment, let's say 60 or 70 years ago, no, or 50 or 40 or whatever. They purchased it in a very low price compared to the market today. So they don't really care to sell it in less as long as they keep living in the property.
100% understood. Maybe for the investors, do you have a real case scenario something that we bought at VertX for them to have in mind the numbers and the doability of the investment?
Of course, as always, I don't really like to spread the real numbers that you have out of the deal. But for example, not long ago we had a deal, we purchased it. It's in the city center of Madrid, 3rd floor, exterior, 2 balconies to the street, 62 square meters, really prime location. We purchased it, if I'm not wrong, at around 40% below the market price. Then the person continued living there, and it took only 2 years, the whole process. So after 2 years, we received the property. It's ours, and right now we renovate it and we resold it for above market price. So if you can just put the number into comparison, this is extreme fast deal with high percentage, but you also need to put in mind, we have no rush. So this is something that you will probably not buy as an investor if you're looking to receive your money back, to reach the money back in 1 year. You'll probably do it if you don't care to wait, like we're talking about real estate. Normally it's not a 1 year deal in real estate. Normally real estate, it's to put the money in blocks for years. So I would highly recommend for somebody to buy, for example, for his kids. Instead of putting the money in the bank account, saving for the kids in 20 years when he's going to grow up, I'm going to give him the wedding gift or whatever. Guys, buy apartment, buy it below the market price. You can find apartment, you can find these deals from 100K, and then in few years you're going to receive it back and more than double it.
That was the question I was going to ask you about the risk, because here we have to bear in mind that we're putting some money someplace and we have to forget about it, because this is a deal that can take 2 years and we were lucky, but can take 15 years, 20 years maybe, depending on the age of the seller, right?
Exactly. So basically it's all statistic, like insurance companies, it's all statistic. So we are purchasing an apartment from a certain age, certain things that we are putting in mind when we're purchasing the apartment, and also this is the percentage that you're going to get a discount. If someone is 65, you're probably going to get a 50% discount because you expect to have it for many years. We in our company buying from 75 years old persons and above, because at the end we don't want to have the deals now for 20 years, and depends on everything from the client, but the risk is very low. And more than it, when you buy an apartment and you buy an investment, buy an apartment for invest, so then you put in renters inside, so you get in your mortgage, you need to pay it every month, you get an income from the rent and you pay it, and you kind of balance. Then in 10 or 15 years you're going to sell it, you're going to make big profit out of it. Here it's even better. You don't need to deal with the renter, you don't need to deal with the mortgage, everything covered up in one place. So that's mean you buy it and then you just resell it once you can with a very high profit on it. All depends, of course, on the deal. But that's what we are doing. We're doing the calculation before, so we know to get a foot in only in very profitable deal. Very, very profitable.
Okay, so in few words, in fact, how does it work? What is the actual process of buying an investment?
So, first of all, of course, you must contact us. We really have a big database all over Spain. We purchase in Marbella, we purchase in Malaga, Valencia, Catalonia, Barcelona, Bilbao, all over the place. So we're really receiving many good properties. You must analyze them correctly to know exactly what we're talking about. The risk, is it going to be 15 years, 5 years, 20 years, 25 years? The discount that we're receiving out of it, the return on investment. So once you contact us, we are searching for a property. Once we found a good property to invest in, we're showing you the details of the deals. Then we're telling you, you must take it. It's a real deal. We're going for it. We're taking you hand by hand through the process, but it's very simple. In most of the cases, it's very quick. So you are the owner within no time. and then you just wait. You don't need to do anything else. So it's a bit different from the normal real estate deal that we know, that you immediately enter, you renovate, you renting it. It's something new that's not many know.
What would you say is the minimum ticket here for an investor, just to have an idea, because it can go very much further than this?
I would say from 100K, you can find a very nice and decent deals. But if you really want to put your step into prime location in Madrid, Sevilla, Malaga, Valencia, I would say around 200K. This is a real number that you're going to get a real discount on a property. Also, put something in mind. And this is a tip for most deals, no? So this kind of deal, you cannot take a mortgage. If you cannot take a mortgage, not many people have certain amount in their bank account. So for example, personally, I put myself into deals that they are 500,000 and more because we have less competition. So as long as you're going to go up with it, then you're probably going to have more discount because less persons are able to purchase it. It's all depend on you. We had some deals at Barrio Salamanca, like the best barrio of Madrid, the most attractive barrio that exists in Spain, I think. And we had deals over there, but they were, of course, above 500,000.
And morally, what would you say? Because this is something normal for us in Spain. But what would you say to convince someone abroad that is not used to that type of deal? Are we not betting on someone's life expectancy in the end?
It's difficult for people to understand it. Let me put you an example. My grandma, she's 83. Now, to move her out of her house, we tried. Trust me, we tried to give her a better apartment to live in and to sell her house because it's horrible. It needs renovation. It's ugly. It's old. It's broken. It's everything that we don't want her to live in. So we tried many times, and always, I'm not moving. I'm staying in my position. I want to stay at my house. I want to smoke the cigarette out in the balcony. So she don't want to move. Now, this something, if someone would come to us and say, listen, she's going to get this amount of money and she can do whatever she wants for the rest of her life. It's not like we are helping her, we are giving her certain amount. She's not rich. So it's not like we are giving her certain amount of money. Come on, take it. She would feel it's charity. But if somebody would come to us today and tell, listen, I'm going to buy you this house right now in cash at 40% below market price, we'll tell him, all right, go for it. It's yours. Because we don't care. We don't wait for it to get the value. We don't care. We want her to live her last of her life peacefully, enjoy, and to do whatever she wants with this amount of money. So morally, absolutely I'm in favor for it, 100%. And I'm always see it as a win-win for both sides, but a big win-win.
Yeah, because in her case, she's asset rich but poor cash. Yeah. And this is what you have to understand in the majority of the deals. Yeah,
exactly. She's poor in cash, and any amount of cash will do her life way, way better. But any amount of cash, as long as she doesn't need to move from her comfort zone.
So to wrap it up, what do we have to remember? We are buying a premium location, discount price. We're buying only the title, only the walls, not the use. Mm-hmm. And we can put a certain amount of cash or money in a box and wait.
Exactly. So just to sum up, this is a very safe deals, extremely safe deals. You are blocking amount of money for few years, unknown time, but you have the best renter, somebody that will definitely not make any problems, anything. And in few years, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to receive a notice that's the property. Also, the use is yours. You do whatever you want with it. And this is when you extra making cash out of it. So this is the moment. So you just need to wait. Instead of putting it in the bank, you're putting it into blocks in a safe deal.
Last recommendation for the investor?
My recommendation is always, we have many products and we are trying to offer the best products in the real estate market as expert in the real estate market. And we are doing it greatly with all of our clients. They are very happy. But we always telling everybody, one product is not necessarily good for the other product. So if you have a lot of cash, probably we would recommend you divide it. And probably we're going to even tell you, listen, even put some in crypto. Why? Divide it. Divide it for some risk investment, some real estate safe investment, some less safe investment, but divide it, because when you have more risk, you have more returns. So every product is depending on the personality. And always you must remember, you should know what is best for you and then choose the product that will fit you, but not the opposite.
So let's say this will be a product for experimented investors, right?
Yeah.
More
Yeah, I would say experiment investor that it's not his first property, because it could take some time, but the gains are also really big.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Lior. Thank you for your time.
Clara, it was a pleasure as always. Thank you so much.
And do not hesitate to contact us on the website, by email, on the social network. It will be a pleasure to help you through the investment.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.